What is up? Thursday night. I actually forgot it was Memorial Day weekend until yesterday on Out of the Parks with John Marks, along with Maniac Malloy and Sam Stafford. She asked, like, well, what are you doing Memorial Day weekend? And I'm like, oh shit, that's this weekend, huh? It is. So it's Thursday. Normally this time of year, I'd be heading down to the Farley Plaza as Pete from Chiggies and Pete's buys all the tolls starting at 5 o'clock for the 5 to 6 o'clock hour. So we'd be outside at the Farley Plaza. 2 years ago, we were inside because it was not only raining, but it was like severe weather. So they had us inside at like the administration building that's across from the Farley Plaza. I always enjoyed doing it. It was always fun. You know, I'd always see people that I would never see any other time, right? Like you have a remote broadcast every week at Chickies and Pete's. I don't know who I would see at that. I saw people I hadn't seen since high school. I saw my high school girlfriend and her 3 daughters one year where she's like, hey, John. And I'm like, oh, my God, I haven't seen her since high school. So I miss doing that, but it's Memorial Day weekend. Delco Steve is here as we have declared. I don't know if Steve's still going to do it. We had declared that we're going to drink tonight. We've talked about this a couple times. And I almost myself chickened out. Oh, nice.
Oh, you chickened out? Come on.
I didn't. I said I almost did. I've had a long day. But
I forgot all about it, in all honesty.
Yeah, so I have, and I didn't even do, well, it still blurs the background. But I have, it's called On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, the Espresso Martini. And
I thought you were going to say On the Rocks with John Marks or something like that.
There you go. That's what it should be. Thursday night, On the Rocks with John Marks and Delco Steve. It's a rich and dark espresso martini crafted with effin' vodka and espresso coffee liqueur. And I actually have coffee here, so I guess I could pour some in here. But anyway, I don't even know what the proof is. 40 proof, so it's 20% alcohol. If I drank this whole thing, I'll be throwing up. It's not that big. What are you drinking? What you got?
I got double rye High West whiskey. We got 46% alcohol.
That's about right. And it's warm as shit.
Yeah, I got it on ice.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I
got a cool coaster with my name on it.
Oh, look at that.
My aunt got me that as a present a few years back.
That's very cool. I could drink vodka. For the most part, if I'm drinking anything straight, it'd be vodka on the rocks. I can do whiskey. I like good bourbon. I like Johnny Walker. I like Manhattans. I love espresso martinis. I mean, I like
espresso martinis.
Any kind of a strong drink. Like a lot of times, and I wish I didn't have it blurred. It's weird how you can see it some of the spots, but it's amazing how I'll go out. Like I'll go out to a martini bar, like what's the Continental, and you know, like you pussy drinking martinis. It's a glass full of vodka. What are you talking about? Martinis are awesome, right?
Love them.
So I have one espresso martini story, and then and then we'll move on. But I might have even said this recently on here, but for my wife's 30th birthday, so it was 10 years ago, we went to Seasons 23 in King of Prussia, and I ordered espresso martinis, and the valets were like, they tweeted Harry Mays and were like, yo, Marks is a girl, he's drinking girl drinks and blah, 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 blah. And they were talking about it on the air. Harry was talking about it on the air, and I got on the air and I'm like, so employees of a restaurant were calling me a girl and making fun of me because I was spending like $13 a drink at their restaurant. Like, does that seem like a good idea?
Nope.
So anyway.
Yeah, my favorite espresso martini story was we were at this place for brunch. There was like 13 of us. Order drinks, takes like 25 minutes to go out. 2 of the girls were pregnant. So I told them, like, all right, when we order our next drinks, I'm like, I need you both to order espresso martinis. And they're both visibly like, 7 months pregnant. And I was going like, because I want those as well.
Double.
Because if they're going to take 25 minutes to come out, then I need,
you need 2. Yeah.
Drinks.
Yeah, you need 2.
So we all order, they bring out 3 and they all end up in front of me. And I was like, I'll take another one right now. Like, because I'll be done these by the time.
Time you bring out another one.
I ended up having 7 in the span of this brunch. I'm sitting there. I'm looking at my resting heart rate at 110 beats per minute, just sitting there.
You must have been hammered.
It was a good time. It was a good brunch.
So I love vodka Red Bulls, and there's been multiple occasions where I have literally, and this, I'm not bragging about this. This is horrible. When I was younger, I would, be like out or whatever, and then out afterwards, and have no recollection of any of it. But I always ended up in my bed, and more than one occasion, like, yeah, good seeing you the other night. I'm like, where did I see you? Like, well, you were like, I would be over at a house and like this guy's apartment hanging out with no recollection of it. They're like, yeah, you didn't even seem like you had that much to drink. And I was like, holy shit. Because that Red Bull, I don't know what it, oh my God, I'm lucky I'm not dead. So I try not to, I just don't go out anymore. Otherwise that's the first thing I go for. But so I'm going to try it first time.
Do you ever see the meme that's like espresso martinis or just a vodka Red Bull that went and studied abroad in Italy and then won't shut up about it? I freaking die laughing every time I freaking say it. I'm like, it's so true. It really is.
I remember being at it might have even been McFadden's on 3rd Street. It's not open anymore. But I would go, and it was when I lived in the city. I'd go and I'd be like, Red Bull kettle or Red Bull, like whatever. And the bartender's like, yo, he's like, come here for a second. So and I get them in the pint glasses. So you get a double essentially. You know what I mean? Straw, boom, drink it. I drink 10 of them in a night. He's like, taste this. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how's it taste? I'm like, it tastes great. I'm like, he's like, that's absolute vodka. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what are you wasting your money for? A good vodka, drinking Red Bull and vodka. He's like, you'll be all right with Absolute. It's $4 less a drink. And I'm like, thanks. So,
but anyway, I always go well vodka with mixed drinks, unless a martinis. You got to do something.
You got to go top shelf. Yes. All right. Well, cheers to everybody out there.
We need a rating.
I mean, not as good as a good place when you're out, but pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad.
Hey, at home, not having to do shit to make it,
bro. Right out of the bottle. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Doesn't get more convenient than that. All right. Well, before we move on to an historic Phillies team here, just wanted to get this out of the way. Gabe Gonzalez, my buddy Gabe Gonzalez, my old roommate, who was probably with me when I blacked out and didn't remember what I was doing. What's up, Gabe? So just, and I won't pour this out. I'm going to drink it. I'm going to drink this for Dr. Glatt, who, if you've listened to me on the radio or whatever, you hear me talk about Dr. Glatt a lot. He did my hair. He's hair restoration specialist and plastic surgeon or whatever. And I have been partners with Dr. Glatt. He's advertised with me being his endorser, and his hair endorser is his only hair endorser. I was his hair business the last 10 years, and got a call last night from mutual friend who said, Dr. Glatt's passed away.
Oh,
and I'm like, what? Like, of all the things that I don't ever really talk on the phone to anybody. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're the same way. I talk to my mom on the phone. I talk to my wife on the phone.
Random things. Yeah.
And it was like 6:30 last night. I was cleaning up after dinner or whatever, and I see his name pop up. I'm like, this is interesting. So I'm like, what's up, dude? And he's like, yeah, Dr. Glatt passed away. I'm like, what? Like, of all the things I thought you were going to say to me, that was not
on the list. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's not a lot of information out publicly. He's Jewish. So you have like it's pretty much immediately. So he died yesterday morning and the service was today. So
really?
Yeah. 11 o'clock this morning, I was in Ballackinwood at his service, but yeah, it's just sad. 61 years old. I don't know. There's not a lot of information out there. I even looked to see if there's an obituary, and there's not. There was something on the text message I got of his service, but it was a short illness. It was really only a couple of weeks, and he just deteriorated real fast. And 61 years old is definitely too young to go. He was looking forward to retirement. He talked about retirement whenever I would see him. I saw him maybe every other month, 6 times a year. I'd see him at events. So maybe more than 6 times a year, but just an overall very kind person. I know when you think plastic surgeon, you're thinking, oh, he's doing boob jobs, right? Like he's giving fake cans. Like, believe me, he did a lot of plastic surgery and that type of stuff, but his life was dedicated. He was also, I forget his exact title at, should actually look it up right now at what hospital it is, but it's a children's hospital of the burn unit. So like, if you're a plastic surgeon, you can take care of children that have been badly burned or cleft palates or things like that.
Skin
So
grafts, all that stuff.
yeah, so like he worked nonstop, and it was more than just plastic surgery or his hair business and everything else at his office in Ballackinwood. He was legitimately, he used to go, I remember something happened in, I don't even remember where it was, but it was some third world country. And boom, he's down there helping kids out, doing like emergency, like whatever the hell he was doing down there, he did. St. Christopher's Hospital. So he was the chief of plastic surgery and the director of the burn unit at St. Christopher's Hospital in Philly. So he was a great man. And to hear people talk about him today, you learn even more about him. But it's weird for me, not to make this about me, but all the time people see me and they're like, Glatt, Dr. Glatt, Dr. Glatt. I was actually texting with somebody who was asking me questions like, should I go in for a consultation? Not knowing he literally had just passed away, probably when I was messaging with this guy. It's like, should I go in for a consultation? Like, what's the approximate cost or whatever? And, like I've never met his son before. And I go up and introduce myself today. He's like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I know who you are. He did his commercials. Yeah, like I know who you are. I'm like, oh, all right. Like I don't know what everybody knows. He's like, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, of course. Like, I know who you are. And I'm like, oh, all right. And like his brothers are all like, oh, John, thanks so much for coming. And it's like, wow. Like, so anyway, the Dr. Glatt going way too soon. Fucking crazy. So how many drinks deep are we, Delco Steve? This is number 1, unless you were drinking before.
No, I didn't have any wine yet today.
I did take some medicinal product before coming on. I'll just say that. So I am under the influence. Yeah. And caffeine. But anyway, what do you got planned this week? Are you doing anything this weekend? Did we talk about this already?
No, we didn't. Monday we just did the week sort of thing.
Are you going to Margate?
No, I'm not going down the shore this weekend. It's Mrs. Delco Steve's birthday on Sunday, so we're gonna be around here doing stuff.
It's her birthday?
Yep.
Ah. So are you guys, what do we got? Like 3 months of heavy dating?
Yeah.
About the 3 months mark. There's still the Amazon period. But
I gave her one gift already. I got her a pair of Nikes that we both eyed up that were like, oh, those are
nice.
Cool. But when we originally saw it, they were unavailable. But I was like, oh, let me see if I can find them somewhere else. And I ended up finding them, and I was like, oh, I was trying to say like your gift's coming like tomorrow. And I said, your shoes are coming tomorrow. I'm like, oh, well. So at that rate, I was like, I'm just going to give them to you when they come because I'm excited to give them to you. So, well, yeah, we got like a lunch with a sister on Saturday. I think her parents are going to do like a barbecue on Monday.
Oh, nice.
We got Sunday to like kind of fill in, figure out.
I love Memorial Day weekend.
This is like the first time I haven't been down the shore in a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, we went down the shore a lot. I would end up for the Chickies and Pete's thing. A lot of times I was driving from wherever we were up there and then back because it's not that far of a drive. It was nice. Yeah, I wish I had somewhere to go. But I like
it's also like crowded as hell though. It's like
it is.
I want to be able to drink my drink without someone standing right here.
No, it is. But like I'm talking about I'm just talking about the beach vibe.
Oh yeah,
and the weather's great right now. I am such a beach person. Like let me tell you about me, the beach person. I'm up early anyway. But I am 8 o'clock. I'm going down with the tents and I'm setting up. So by 8 a.m. So like we talked about this before because I'm breakfast guy as well. But let's go down, like, hurry up, like finish with breakfast. Like I'm going down, I'm setting up the tents, and then everything's already iced. There's a ton of ice, everything's iced down. So by 9 a.m. I'm at least 2 drinks in on the beach. And that's to me, that's the best life. That's my life.
I agree.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I hate sitting around waiting for people to get to be ready to go to the beach. That's the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Oh, like my friend, like we'll be sitting there, like, oh, like we'll just sit around and talk. And I'm like, we could do that on the freaking beach.
Yeah, on the beach. No.
It's like, and then it's like, I'm like, all right, I'm going. Like, I'll load the cooler down. I'll pack the cooler. I'll load the cooler down. Meet me down there whenever. It's like, I'll get down there, like, latest 11. And then they're showing up at like 1. And they're like, oh, why'd you leave so early? I'm like, because I want to be at the beach.
Early.
Like,
11 o'clock, dude. Like, and that's
I'm saying
that's
that's what I'm saying. Latest. That's 11. Like,
right. And you're
that's
trying
like
to get them
I'm
to
giving
go
you
before.
till 11 till I'm like deuces. I'm out.
Yeah, just go down by yourself. When I lived in Hawaii, especially like the first, I don't know, 3-4 months that I was there, I actually almost the whole time, because I walked to Waikiki Beach and it was a 5-minute walk from where I lived, and I just went by myself all the time. I didn't need anybody else. So at the time, I had a Discman, and again, I would have a book or whatever, and I would just like fall asleep on the beach or whatever. Actually, there was this grassy like little knoll. It was like fake grass, and I would go up so I didn't have to deal with the sand. But then they tell you like, watch out, like petty theft is a big thing, and you get these fucking meth heads that sit up there and they look for opportunity, which is dumb Howley tourists normally going down into the shore for a second and into the water, and then you come back up and your bag's gone. So that happened to me in the first month that I was there. Cell phone was in the bag. Discman was in the bag. CDs were in the bag.
Discman.
Yeah, it was a Discman. That's how it was. A flip phone. It was a Discman.
What were you more pissed about losing?
Well, probably the phone, just because it had everybody's number in it. I don't know, man. Like back then, I don't even remember what it was like. I didn't even. You didn't even really text message back then. It was 20 years ago. It was 2003, 2004 when I lived there. So it was 20 years ago. All right. Well, so yeah, well, you're going to be busy this weekend. Well, my wife informed me that we're having people over on Sunday, but it's just like parents' kids. It's like it's like the kids, my kids' friends, like that parent group, and then they're coming over. And they're just like low key or whatever. I'm like, all right, low key, but it also means that we have to clean the entire house, which means on Saturday you're gonna be like turbo. And you're like, I gotta clean the house, I gotta clean this entire house. Like,
You gotta mow the lawn.
I gotta mow the lawn tomorrow. Yep. I gotta do it tomorrow. But it's tomorrow's field day with the kids, and my wife's getting off her job a little bit early. So when she comes back from her portion of the afternoon field day, because I'm going in the morning, it's like, yo, you got the kids. I got to mow the lawn. The lawn, it's so long. I would have mowed it on Wednesday, but I wanted to wait on Friday, because if I would have mowed it on Wednesday, by Sunday, it would have been too long.
You have to do it again by Saturday.
Right, which I don't want to do. So I'm gonna take it down, because normally I cut it on 3.5 inches. I'm gonna take it down to 3 to get it a little bit shorter, just so it's a little nicer. So anyway,
There you go.
Yep. Burgers and dogs. That's it for asking me what I'm cooking. Burgers and dogs. I have a flat iron, Blue Rhino, and there's no better way to make burgers and dogs. I'll get the Nathans and I'll just put them on the one section of the grill and just let them get hot there.
But didn't we talk about how we prefer our hot dogs on the show?
Well, you don't like the roller. You're
I don't like
anti-roller.
the roller. No anti-roller and no boil. Out.
Yeah, I'm not a big boil hot dog. I like them grilled, not well done, but well enough done to where you have some.
I wanted like half black.
Yeah, I could eat it like that for sure. Yeah, if there's a little char on it, I'm okay with that. But
Then when you would like eat a marshmallow and like you like roast a marshmallow and you could pull like the outside shell of the marshmallow off. I want my hot dog like that.
So on the flat iron, you almost can't burn it. You put it on a gas grill that's essentially just flaming heat up. You're not really doing anything with it. You put them on the cast iron or on the flat iron. Man, it cooks I get Nathans. They're my favorite. Nathans or Ballparks or Hebrew National. Oh man, the Nathans are unbelievable on there. I could eat a dozen of them when I'm sitting there cooking. If I'm cooking for 2 hours or so, I could eat a dozen of them easy. All right, maybe not a dozen, but close. Oh, they're so good.
Isn't it you're only supposed to eat like one hot dog a year or something like that?
Is that what it is?
For your health's sake? I think something like that.
Well, it's full of nitrates and processed meat. Well, also bacon too. It's like bacon's considered almost like a carcinogen. But like whatever.
I'm definitely cooking bacon sometime this weekend. Just took it out of the freezer today.
Me too. Oh yeah, me too. I got to go to the store tomorrow. I didn't make it today because Dr. Glatt's service or whatever. So
is also bacon your number one breakfast meat?
Just because it's just, I mean, I feel like if I ate pork roll every time I ate bacon, I'd feel much worse about myself. Does that make sense? I love pork roll, but it's that you can't eat pork roll as much as you eat bacon.
I think, but if I ranked them, it's definitely bacon then pork roll. But it's like I think a pork roll is like a novelty.
Yeah, Every once
It's
in a
like,
while, a couple times a year.
like, or no, I was about to say, like, all right, if I have bacon 4 times in a row, then the next time's pork roll. It's like 1 out of 5 kind of time.
You go
Like,
pork roll every fifth
I'll
time,
go
maybe?
pork, like, I'll like when I'm in the mood for it. It's like, oh, I'm in the mood for it. I'll have it a few times in a row, but
Right.
then I'll get back on bacon.
I love pork roll.
Mrs. Delco sees a pork roll girly, so that comes up
with breakfast, with the breakfast platter, or because I love pork roll and cheese sandwiches on a long roll.
A pork roll, egg and cheese is just banging.
Well, pork roll, I actually like a pork roll and cheese sandwich over a pork roll, egg and cheese. I like pork roll, egg and cheese.
How much
regular pork
in a sandwich? How many slices of pork roll do you need just to be the sandwich?
4. Put it on the long roll. You put the whole Taylor carton in there.
Do you have the thick cut you're talking then?
Thick cut 4.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like put them in 3 little slits so they don't go up in the middle, and then you put half a piece of cheese on each one. Yeah, and then you layer them on the long roll. You can even go fried onion with that, and then some ketchup and mustard on it.
Oh, I'm out. I'm so.
How about that, Gabe Gonzalez, who used to work restaurant jobs with me? Oh, that's good living, man.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
What about sausage? Like I'll go sausage before I go pork roll, and I don't know why, but I always buy sausage when it's on special. So when you get the like, hey, we're gonna have to throw it out tomorrow if you don't buy it, I'll just throw that sucker in the freezer. And then a week later, whatever. The problem is that like if you don't eat the whole thing, you have to throw. You can't like take it out and let it sit. You have to pretty much use it right away because that's why you have to freeze it. So that means I'm eating a whole thing of sausage. So I'm eating like 12 sausage links over the course.
So do you break it up before you put it in the freezer? So you got like a 6 and 6?
I do. It's definitely
that makes so much sense for your frugal ass.
I do. No, it's definitely more than 6 on each layer. It's like maybe it's 8. It's not 12. It's probably 8 and 8. So I'll like cut the styrofoam in half and then give it like a really tight wrap and then put both of them in the. Well, I'll buy 10 pounds of ground beef at a time and just divide it up. I have a food scale. I just divide it up in a 1.2 pounds and then I freeze it and throw it in the freezer. Oh man, save a ton of money doing that.
Oh, I do. I buy the jumbo pack of like the thick cut bacon at BJ's, and then I'll throw them in the freezer. And then it's like, all right, the weekend's coming up. I'll pull so it's 2 packs. I'll pull a pack out for the weekend. I'll cook it once, I'll cook it for the weekend, and then I'll cook it again during the week sometime.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. No, the bacon when there was actually a bacon kit. It was a candied bacon kit, and they couldn't sell them. So there's like 20 of these candy bacon kits, but there was 3 pounds of the thick sliced maple bacon in it. And they were selling them for like $4. Normally 3 pounds of bacon, you're looking at, what are you looking at? Like $10, $12, something like that.
Minimum.
Right. So I bought 5 of them and I just threw them in the freezer because it's like, shit, I'll eat bacon. I eat bacon. My kids love bacon or whatever. But anyway, yeah, Gabe saw me do an entire box of Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, but this was before diabetes.
That's why you have diabetes.
It's why I do, because of the way I can eat. But anyway.
I love the end of that. Always respected that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gabe see me at my worst and my best for sure. All right, so cook the full pack of bacon. Because I don't cook the full pack of bacon. I try to get at least 2.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll take the 1 pound rack and I'll cut the packaging in half.
In half, yeah.
So I get 2 pounds in the package. 1 stays in the freezer. Then I cut that in half, put that back in the fridge, cook that half, and then like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll cook the other half so it doesn't go bad.
So you're eating it twice a week, and you're having a pound of bacon a week. That's respectable.
Yeah, and I could house that. I could do that in one sitting if I wanted to.
Yes, I have diabetes, Michael Richmond. I have diabetes.
Oh, and Mike, I do have the spears. I just got it was in a pinch. Just had to grab the ice real quick because I forgot we were doing this.
Yeah. I didn't chicken out, so I am right here. If everybody just tuned it in, we decided we were going to start our Memorial Day weekend a little early. I very, 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 very rarely drink, so I'm already pretty much hammered off of like a little bit. But anyway, one other thing before we move on, talk about Phillies or whatever. Oh, so if you weren't listening or weren't watching on on Monday, Herb from Northeast Philly was like, so 8:00, Herb's like, I can come on. I can't, like, he goes to bed at 9. So I'm like, all right, well, let's get on right now. And I texted Steve. I'm like, yo, I'll be on because I'm going to go on with Herb. And I'm like, like, who knows if he's going to be able to figure it out? Because Herb hasn't had a good success ratio. He was like, batting like Eric Bruntlett. Not a very high batting average as far as figuring out how to get on with me or on with us. So he gets on and his mic's muted and he can't figure out how to do it. This has happened multiple times. The last time he went to the AT&T store and the guy showed him how to unmute it. So he's like, oh, I got it unmuted. And I'm like, bro, I gotta go pick up my kids. I gotta go. I don't have 3 hours to try to do this freaking thing. See, he's got his candy cigarettes in his hand. Good job.
Little cigarette and a whiskey.
So anyway, he couldn't get it figured out. People were trying to help him. He finally got it figured out to where we could hear him and see him, but he could, for whatever reason, he couldn't hear us. So he kept putting the phone up to his ear, and all we could see is his ear canal because that's the camera. He's using it to be on the show. So he's putting it up to his ear, and all we can see is the inside of his ear because he can't hear what we're saying.
Can we get a shot of every little detail T-shirt with just Herb's ear, like the screenshot of Herb's ear?
So we never actually got to talk. And I did the thing where I pull up Herb on speakerphone and we watch him on the video, and then he's talking on speakerphone. So I did that as well. So we didn't get to talk to Herb. So from there, Herb has probably called me, I don't know, 12 times since Monday. He didn't call me at all today because I stopped answering. But I talked to him, and he left me a 1 minute and 59-second voicemail on Tuesday, which I haven't listened to. But yeah. Should I play it?
You need the rest of this bottle to listen to that.
All right, so listen, if we get everybody, go to my YouTube and subscribe. If you're just watching on Twitter or whatever, which a lot of people are doing, go to my YouTube and subscribe, and you can actually see the episode from Monday where Herb couldn't figure it out. And I'll play. I don't even know what it's going to sound like right now. If you look at my,
you're going to play the voicemail right now for us.
If we get subscribers, I want to see people subscribing at John Marks Media on YouTube. If you look at my phone right now, I have 4 unlistened to Herb messages. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like he calls me and a minute 32, 56 seconds, a minute 19, a minute 59. So that he was texting me too. So he's like, let me pull up the text messages here. I should have texted him back. But Herb. So he's when he called me and I answered, he was saying, he was being like, yeah, I heard you talking after I couldn't get on. So I guess I was talking about I'm broke and I need to start doing Uber or something like that, which I don't know. Like, it was tongue in cheek that I was saying it. I don't really know if I would be driving Uber, but it would be nice if I could get that money without doing it. But I was just kind of talking. And so it was very nice of him. He's telling me he knows all these people, and this guy will pay me cash to drive, and this person will pay me cash or whatever. So it's like, Herb, thank you. I really appreciate that. Blah, 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 blah. And so then he tells me that he's coming to my house to do the show next week. So he doesn't have to worry about it or whatever. And with Herb, you can't.
Does he know where you live? Does he actually know where you live?
So he goes to LA Fitnesses, and he knows that there's an LA Fitness in Collegeville. So he goes, yeah, I want to check out that LA Fitness in Collegeville anyway. I'm like, well, why do you want to check that one out? Like, all the fucking LA Fitnesses are the same.
He hasn't gotten banned from that one yet?
Probably not. So I'm like, all right, I just yeah him after I told him, like, no, Herb, we do it on live, but I can't figure it out. I'm like, I know you can't. So I'm like, yeah, next week. And then he started calling me and I wouldn't answer. So he texts me, he says, waiting for WIP. And I said, tell him I said hello. And he said, Spike's playing around with the assholes. I'm hanging up. And then he said, I'm going to try on Friday. So then he sends me, I guess they were doing like the best 15 players and best 12 players in Philadelphia sports right now or whatever. So he sends me his best 12 players. And he says, my list, Jack is going to put it on. And he texts me, turn on WIP. I'm on soon. And I'm like, all right. Well, and I didn't do it. But then I was texting Jack being like, will you fucking put him on the air so he stops calling me? Literally, he called me 12 times in 3 days. Like one, it was when they wouldn't put him on. So he's hanging on hold. He
do
hangs
me a
up
solid,
and calls
bro.
me. Yeah, like texted him like, would you put him on? And he just LOL at me. And then I sent him a screenshot of the missed calls from him and the text messages. What did Jack
Is Herb
say?
about to get blocked?
No. Back said, no, he said that he said he made me sit there for him to name all 16 names. And he said he called back and said he needed to move JT from 3 to 13. So he had JT Realmuto as number 3, but he called back and said, no, he's 13. Jake Elliott's number 12. Anyway, so yes, Herb. And he's not coming over to my house to do. I would go to his house to do it.
Oh, you're going to need a co-host next Thursday, so.
You're out next Thursday?
Yeah, I got a rehearsal dinner.
No, you told me that. That's right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because all your friends are you're in the phase where all your friends are getting married.
Yep.
I see like.
Yeah, don't even go there.
See? Let's see. What is the chat think? It's about all right. We got some time. My wife didn't give me any time, bro. We were dating for a year and she was putting full court press on me. And I'm like, hon, we've been together for a year.
Did you know? Like, did you know her before you were dating at all, or no?
Yes, I didn't know her well, but we had met. She was a bartender in like Manayunk and some other places, and my old partner Sean Brace, she bartended at a place that Sean Brace worked. So Sean and we bartended at a place called Ladder 15 in the city.
Yep.
It was like one night they're like, yeah, you'll come bartend, keep the tips or whatever, like invite people out. So he invited her, and that was the first night I met her.
Okay.
And then it was probably like a year. Like I started following her on Facebook or some bullshit like that. And then it was like I saw her somewhere else and like we kind of like hit it off again. And then like we hung out. And then from there it was whatever. But I don't know. It was like she was, I guess was she 30? She was getting to be 30. We've been married 10 years. So she was like getting to 30, which is nothing. She's like 28, 29, not married. Like what the fuck? It's pretty common for women. This isn't 1984 where if you're 30 and not married, it's the end of the world.
Right.
Fuck. Yeah, she worked at Pitcher's Pub. Who are you, Turtle Power? She did. She didn't work at Pitcher's. No, she didn't work at Pitcher's. She worked at Yonkers.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's just kind of wild. Someone drilled that.
No, Pitcher's is where Brace hangs out. Like that's his home bar in Manayunk, and his buddy Jeff owns it.
Oh, okay.
No, but Sean was the manager of Yonkers in Manayunk. I forget what it's called now. A guy bought it and turned it into a really good bar. They have great burgers. When they have that burger brawl, he's in the burger brawl. Like, what is the name of the place, man? It's really, really good. So he's turned it into a really successful place. But yeah, she worked at Yonkers. She worked at Mad River for a while.
Didn't they have a dude on Chopped? They had
Who?
Probably. I think the cook was on Chopped. Because they did like a burger, the Chop did like a burger competition, and then one of the guys was a dude from Manayunk.
Yonkers, which is now, so it's 4421 Main Street. Hold on, let me see. 4421. If someone on chat doesn't have it, Main Street. Forget the name, but he used to, I should know it. Lucky's Last Chance. That's what it is. Great food. Unbelievable. So she worked there when it was a shithole, and then somebody came in and bought it and really turned it into a nice place. She worked at Mad River. She worked at what was the place in?
Yeah, they were on Chopped.
Yeah, it was them. Yeah, man. Like they have they have the peanut butter and jelly burger.
I was just about to say they have the peanut butter and jelly burger.
Whatever thought you have if that's weird or it can't be good, take that out of your mind, bro. Because
I've never tried it.
Oh, dude.
The first what's that, like Bonefish or whatever? Is that like the chain? They do like a little bit of everything. My cousin, like for her 21st, like down in Orlando, she like made us go there and because they had sushi and this, that, and the other thing. And my uncle got a PB&J burger with 2 glazed donuts as buns, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw the fuck up. And he was like, nah, it's amazing. I'm like, I don't want to bite, but like I will try it eventually at some point.
I can't do the donut stuff, like Federal Chicken that does the donut with the chicken or whatever. I respect it. I'm out on eating stuff with donuts, but a nice pretzel roll I'm into or whatever. Yeah, so I guess it was called Tonic. So after Yonkers, it was Tonic. Like it made it sound classier or whatever. And so she worked it anyway. Yeah, Gabe had it Lucky's Last Chance. That place is hot. And then she worked at what's the place that Fox and Hound in King of Prussia, which closed down like maybe 2 years ago now. It was right across from like where the Dick's is in King of Prussia Mall. Yeah, and that place was like the last time I went in there, I was like, they got to either renovate this place or they got to just fucking set it on fire. Like this is, I feel like I'm in 1993.
Yeah, the way I saw I was in there was like after like a soccer game. Like we went there to have drinks, and I was like, I think it was the first and only time I was in there. I was like, everyone's like, oh, this place is awesome. This place is awesome. And I was like,
Right. You feel like you're in Friday, like it's a bigger Fridays. The bar's bigger than Fridays. But you've been in what was it that I was saying? Oh, there's an Applebee's up by me in Limerick, right? And when my wife was when she was nursing my Bella, my baby, Bella was allergic to I guess it was allergic to egg. Almost everything has egg in it, especially when you go to restaurants, right? So whatever, there was something on the menu at Applebee's where she could eat it and she liked it. So we would go to this Applebee's a lot. Dude, I honest to God, like they should have had Cheers on the menu. Cheers, the TV show Cheers on the TV at the bar. Wood everywhere. It smelled like it hadn't been cleaned in 30 years. Everything was wooden and like red and maroon, like decor and seats and cushions on there. Like it's unbelievable. There's no way it had been renovated since it opened up. Easily 30 or 40 years. Yep.
I gotta get my Spear ice cube.
Go get whatever you gotta do. So, and I'm double fisting with coffee here, which probably isn't a good idea. I said we'll talk about the Phillies here, and we will in a second. The Tilted Kilt in King of Prussia. I always loved that space. What was it before Tilted Kilt? It was it was an Irish bar. I can't remember. It's just such a shitty location, and the parking is always now it's a what do you call it? A Curaleaf, right? Wish they would just make it recreational in Pennsylvania. It's silly. People are going over the bridge because they don't feel like having to deal with getting a card.
Just to prove I have it.
Oh, you got a shot glass?
No, the ice cube.
Oh, yeah, put it in there. Nice. Do you ever go to Eddie V's?
Never even heard of it.
So Eddie V's it's in King of Prussia. I think there's 2 of them in Pennsylvania. They're a national chain. They're not huge. It's Nick Foles' dad was a part of the original investors and owners of it. And then they sold to some fucking capital venture. You know what I mean? Like they sold to some big company, restaurant owner company or whatever. But you should take Mrs. Delco Steve there. Yeah, it is.
What's the name?
Eddie V's, and it's V-E''S. Great food. I haven't had a bad meal there. I've always had excellent meals, like great steaks, and it's kind of like a steakhouse, but has more than that. But their drinks, so they'll make like an old fashioned, and they have the wood that they burn with the lighter.
Smoke.
Yep. Yeah. So they burn the wood and get all the and they trap the smoke in there. But then they pull out the ice. They have the little pluckers, and they pull out the big block of ice from like the special freezer.
Yeah.
And they drop it in the thing, and it's like,
steaming. Man, it looks like it's steaming.
Yeah. So when you pay $20 for the drink, you're like, wow, this is actually worth it. The whole process to watch them make this drink is something. So
yeah, I like the little like the swirl to make the smoke come up.
Yeah, exactly. It's awesome. Delaware Avenue Club was certainly Maui. I was a Maui. I think it was Friday night happy hour. Before that, Thursday nights, 18 to enter, 21 to drink. Maybe it was even 17 to enter, 21 to drink. Was Egypt nightclub, Delaware and Spring Garden. So, I mean, when I was 18, 19 years old, where did you meet girls? There was no, you go to the mall or whatever. We went to Egypt. So it was unbelievable. It was great. Best thing ever. I didn't really go. My roommate Vasily worked at Kathmandu, which was like, what was that right next to? That was the outdoor club, Kathmandu on Delaware Avenue. You're too young to remember this because Delaware Avenue is just, no one goes there now. At one time in the 90s, that was the only place to go was Delaware Avenue. Club
Dave and
Deco.
Buster's, baby.
Dave and Buster's was great. Club Deco was next to Delilah's. And that was an after hours club. So you would see Joey Merlino there. If you went on a Friday or a Saturday night for whatever reason, you would see Joey Merlino, and you would see Eric Lindros, and you'd see like you would see like every big name that wanted to be out at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was terrible. It was the worst. I hated it there. They called it Club Dego, and that's a slur towards Italian Americans, but that's what everybody called it, was Club Dego, for good reason too, by the way, if you've ever been in there. I didn't make up the name, Steve.
Actually, I think I gotta look this up before I say it, because
now it's not called Deco now. Now it's called, what's it called, Gabe, if you're still listening? It's called something else, and I've been there since it's been called something else, but it's not called Deco anymore. What's it called now? It's called something else, but it's the same place. It's the same after hours nightclub, or like, it's fine if you're all coked up, or you just don't want to go to sleep, or you're like with a chick or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I have listened to Joey Merlino's podcast. He is it's awesome. It's awesome. Him and Lil Snuff, they do a great job. Shampoo, which on Friday nights was gay night. Thursday nights was like it was Thursday nights was, well, it was really always gay night at Shampoo. It was just a matter of whether it was strictly gay night or not. Shampoo on Willow Street, Michael Richmond. I've been to on I think it was Thursday and Sunday was the safe nights to go there. But yeah, I've been the Shampoo. I certainly have. All right, well, there you go. What's Gabe saying here? XO Lounge is Deco now. Didn't even know that. I've been to Transit, which is on Spring Garden. That's just like some warehouse. And again, unless you're on ecstasy or you're with a chick or coked up or whatever, you don't want to do something else. All right, so hold on. I just wanted to answer something here before we talk about the Phillies here briefly. Someone's asking about if I'm talking about what I'm doing. And here's Ryan Ziegler right here. Did you talk about what you're doing next, John? So I'm right now, I'm doing a weekly podcast with Bet Parks. It's not even a podcast, like a live show that you can view on YouTube, or I think you can get it where you get your podcast. And it's Out of the Parks with John Marks. It's with Sam Stafford, who was on The Fanatic not too long ago, and Fox 29, and Maniac Malloy, who's the content creator for Bet Parks. So we do a live Phillies show every Wednesday, which is a good place to be because the Phillies are the talk. Man, dude. Like, are you kidding me with this team? I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it. Did you see? I don't remember what you said pre. I know what I said pre start of the season, which was 88, 89, 90 wins. They're not winning the division, and they're dangerous once you get to the playoffs. I didn't see any of this shit. I don't.
Yeah, I said the Braves are going to win the division just because that just feels like that's how it's been. But a lot of their big guys have been not slumping, but they're not producing like they were last year. And our big guys are producing like we thought they always would since we've had them, not just during the stretch run. And they're doing it early instead of, coming back or in the last few years, they've been in the beginning of the year and then they turned it on. Now they're just on, and they're really on one right now.
They don't lose.
They were 8-8 to start the year, and they're what now? 30-something and 6.
Literally, they're on it. I don't know if I had the stats and what I had right here, but they're doing things that have never been done before. Like, they're one of a few teams that have went on a run like this and started like they've done this. It is the last time they've won as many games during a stretch like this was 1892. And you remember 1892 was a hell of a team that summer. It was a lot of fun to watch.
99 years before I was born.
I mean, like, that's what we're talking about. Like, for everybody, and believe me, there's a lot of, and this is the time where I love that I don't have to do sports radio, because sports radio right now, somebody's going to have to be the asshole. At least this is the way it would be with me. Someone's going to have to be the asshole that's like, Yeah, but they can't do this all year. This is the wrong time to be hot. Look at where the Braves are. And by the way, like I do kind of feel like that. I saw the Braves talking about how like we've already seen how the last 2 years have ended up where we were like good from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. It didn't matter in the playoffs. So if like we're playing well, but we're not playing great right now, we're okay with that. But like I just want to enjoy this ride. And that's what I'm doing right now, man.
It's a lot
like
of fun.
every day they don't lose games. It's unbelievable.
Dude, you know me with the baseball. When we talked about this, I don't know if it's because I've been dipping my toe in with the betting of baseball a lot more this year and having fun, like actually not getting smoked. So I'm not saying I'm winning a lot, but like I'm definitely not losing. So it's like it's been a lot of fun, and I'm throwing some Philly stuff in there, and it's like, oh, that hits, and then it's been a good run. So, but it's like I'm with you though on the being worried part, because I think the buy in baseball, I think, is screwy as shit. Like, I don't like that at all. I think it's terrible that you get a week off going into that second series. It's like you look like the Dodgers and Braves looked unbeatable last year, and they were just like, "Up, see it, bye." You're nothing.
There's something to it. There's something to it.
You get what 20 days off all summer, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're hitting, you're playing well, and then it's like, here's a week off. It makes no sense to me.
So I think here's the good thing, that they're playing so well right now. Like they have to have a stretch where people are gonna be like, oh shit, what's going on, right?
Yeah, they win 2 out of 10 or something like that.
Yeah, they can't keep this. I mean, they're on pace to break a record.
Yeah, I was gonna say what they're on pace. So on 114, which would be the best record.
No, it was 116, and then they won 2 games after that.
Oh, really? The last one I saw was 114, and it was, or no, the record was one. No, or sorry, let me finish. The record was 114. They were on pace to break the record.
So 116, the Mariners won. That was a Jamie Moyer Mariner team. I think it was 2001, and they lost before even making the World Series.
Yeah, that was like the A-Rod Griffey team, right?
Yeah. I think Griffey would have still been on the team. I don't know about A-Rod, but it was Buhner, 2001 Mariners. They might have had Richie Sexton on that team. I mean, they still had Edgar Martinez.
I'm pretty sure that was before A-Rod went to the Rangers.
All right, so let's see, 116 wins. So you had Ichiro. All right, let's see. Here's your lineup. Now I think it was 1998 that A-Rod went to. Is
that what it is?
So it was Ichiro,
Sorry, 9.
Edgar Martinez, Mike Cameron. Not even like a great team. David Bell, Carlos Guillen, Brett Boone. Brett Boone looked all juiced up. He had 37 home runs. John Olerud. Remember John Olerud? Most people remember him with the Blue Jays. He wore a helmet in the field because he had something wrong with him. But I guess the pitching staff was like really good. Let me see. Freddie Garcia, Aaron Seeley, Jamie Moyer won 20 games that year. Paul Abbott was 17-4. But then when they got to the playoffs, it didn't matter. Arthur
was
Lee
Randy
Rhodes
Johnson gone by then?
Yeah. He was because he was in Arizona. Yeah, Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling in 2002 both won 20 games. I saw that recently because Zach Wheeler and Ranger, or they were 1 and 2 in the Cy Young voting.
Okay.
Schilling had 24 wins, and Randy Johnson won the Cy Young because the ZRA was higher. ZRA wasn't like sub 2s. So, but yeah, like that's the kind of year we're talking about right now. Ranger fucking Suarez has won 9 of 10 starts, and he hasn't got lucky to win 9 of 10 starts.
Dude, I have a Cy Young ticket at him at plus 1,600. Love it right now.
So you have plus 1,600.
Yeah,
out of the
5 last time I looked.
Out of the Parks with John Marks, we started tracking it at plus on Bet Parks at I think plus 2,600, where we were like, "Hey, listen, he's off to a 3-0 start. If the Phillies end up being really good this year and he has close to 20 wins, he very easily could win the Cy Young." Zach Wheeler's still the favorite to win the Cy Young.
Yep.
But Rangers too. He's 9-0.
Yeah, I looked at it I was like, I said to Mrs. Delco Steve that we should probably start thinking about betting him for Cy Young, and it was plus 2,000. And then I was out with her soon-to-be brother-in-law, and I was like looking at it, it was down to 1,600. I'm like, I got to do it. Put money on it. 2 seconds later, it was 1,800. I'm like, the fuck?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's plus 400 now.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll take that. Great closing line value for me.
Will they offer you a buyout, you think?
At some point, I'm sure. I mean, it's like 25 to win, like 25, I think. So it's nothing like crazy.
Right. They don't care.
So,
Well,
but I think it's too early in the year because, like, what if he goes out tomorrow and, God forbid,
yeah, no,
throws his
you're right.
elbow
All it
out?
takes is like some elbow soreness or whatever. The
And then
way
it's
he's
like, oh,
pitching,
yeah,
it's
he's done.
unbelievable.
I feel like he doesn't have like the style of pitching though that would like lend to that.
Got a
And
smooth delivery.
I'm just gonna throw this out there for anyone who wants to listen. No sports book treats him like he's a strikeout pitcher. His strikeouts are always low as shit,
He's
and
going over every time.
You can ladder the piss out of that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, even nights where he's not getting a ton, he's always getting 6. He's always getting 6 or 7.
And he's lined at 5.5 like all the time. And he's gotten 9 and 10 multiple times.
This team is unbelievable. It really is from top to bottom. Sosa had a big day today. Bryce is really starting to.
JT was hot the last couple days.
JT's gotten some home runs in the last couple. Boomer continues to kill it. All right, so
dude, that screws with me every day. Every time I freaking say his name,
I know
every day.
I know you deserve it. All right, so here's Ranger Suarez strikeouts: 10, 3, 9, 6, 8, 5, 8, 8, 4. So he's gotten more than 6 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his 10 starts. That's pretty good.
Yep.
You're saying he's 5.5 at almost everyone. That's got to go up.
Just about.
Yep. Man. Yeah, they're awesome. So here,
and 9 the other day was plus 900. So
really?
Yeah,
oh, dude. Oh man.
Yeah,
so
I'm pissed. I only put $10 on it. I was very mad.
You put $10 on it?
Yeah, I laddered it. I did 6, 7, 8, 9 because it only went to 9. And yeah, so but I was pissed that it didn't go higher.
Yeah,
I'm pissed that I didn't do more.
I had the over yesterday was 10.5, which was about a run or two higher than it normally would be. Because the Rangers had a starter coming off it was his first start back since he had like rotator cuff soreness or something. And then Taijuan Walker was on the mound. So I'm like, all right, he's good for a 4-burger. And the way the Phillies are playing right now, they're scoring 7 runs. And they went over. It was easy.
Yeah, well, they had 11 on their own.
Yeah. No,
I had Bryce. I didn't hit, but unfortunately, I had like Bryce for 2 bases and like an RBI, like individually. But then I had one with Schwarber, Bohm, and Harper for an RBI. And I was like, oh, well, these are all shot. And then out of nowhere, I look at it because I wasn't watching the game at the time. I was out in media. And then I see like, oh, like how did these Harper bets hit? I'm like, oh, cool. He hit a meaningless home run at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Love it.
Totally meaningless, but still it was awesome. The first thing we do when my kids get up in the morning, we go to the Phillies do such a good job on their Instagram account with putting their highlights up there, like especially the home runs. So they're asking like, "What Phillies win? Phillies win?" I'm like, "Yep, they won again." And we'll watch the Harper highlights. But that not the at bat yesterday, but it was the at bat where he went 3-2 and he went deep. I guess it was Tuesday night. And he just had a look about him in that at bat. And he was battling it, but he just had this look to him. I'm like, he's going to fucking hit a home run here. And he did.
Oh, I had him for Dinger Tuesday, too. That was fun for a home run.
It was Tuesday. That was the night you hit it to center field. When he's hitting the ball to center field, but then he's also sitting on something and driving it. Like he hit that home run off the Bet ESPN sign. It's probably like a 420-foot home run. Like that's when he's good because like he doesn't get too pull happy. He looks for pitches to pull deep. But, man, when he's feeling it, he will hit that ball to center field so far. And he is so awesome. This team is so awesome. Range Suarez, so he's 9-0, 1.53, 1.35 ERA. Here's the list of pitchers since 1920 to win 9 of the first 10 starts and their ERA under 1.5. It's Ubaldo Jimenez in 2010, Juan Marichal in 1966, and Sal Magli in 1952. So he's the 4th to do it. Now, check this out. Marichal threw 92 innings through 10 starts, which means he averaged 9.2 innings a start when he was doing it.
How did that happen?
He threw a 14-inning, 1-0 shutout. You think about how much baseball's changed. Yeah, he went 14 innings. Yep.
How many pitches do you think?
Probably 200. But, like, look at
they're not throwing it. They weren't like, it's like the curveballs and all that like are different now. They're putting so much more strain. Yeah.
Everything was different, man. But
they're also not trying to, nuke the freaking speedometer,
Yeah, no, like much different the way they train themselves. Now the training's much different. It's all about velocity. That's why guys are blowing out their elbow. But Just look at Will Chamberlain. The year that he scored 100 points, or he averaged his best year. He averaged more than 48 points. He averaged more than 48 minutes a game because of overtime. He just never came out. So he averaged more than the 48 minutes, which is a regulation NBA game. It's incredible. So
that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, he's
That's why I love the shit with like the Knicks this year with like Josh Hart playing 48 minutes. I'm like, that's what I want out of these guys. Like, they should be able to be conditioned enough to play these games for as hard as they can for quarters.
100%. I wanted
Screw
to play
the roster management and all that rest management shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk to an old school baseball guy, like I'll say Mitch Williams or Larry Anderson, they don't think you should throw less. They think you should throw more.
I think we talked. Yeah, it was like the taking the break and then coming back on is what strains it more.
Right. Like if you're just always throwing, you get used to throwing. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, but there is something to you're training your arm. Like if you won't go more than 2 days in a row. One of the biggest things I miss about WIP is not being able to talk to Larry Anderson on a weekly basis. We had him for Wednesday call-ins. I don't know, since I started working with Ike, and not only the knowledge, but just like, man, like the old school baseball reliever mentality. When he pitched for Boston, it was the Jeff Bagwell trade. He got traded from Houston at the trade deadline to Boston, and the Red Sox traded Jeff Bagwell to Houston, and it became one of the worst / best trade deadlines. So every trade deadline, Larry, he gets a chuckle out of it. But anyway, he pitched something like between warming up and being in the game, he like warmed up or was in the game like 35 straight days, because you get the old school manager that's like, hey man, I'm ready every day. And now like Joe Girardi wouldn't throw guys more than 2 days in a row, which is bullshit. And these relievers don't want that. Trust me. It's one thing like Flash Gordon. Joe Torre used Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon had like 81 appearances one year. It's half of the season.
Yep.
For a relief pitcher. Like you can overuse them like that for sure. But
he set up Mariano Rivera like every game. Like every game.
I love Tom Gordon.
Dude, I like, not that I was like I liked the Yankees as a kid.
I like that Yankees team.
It's like, but it was literally like automatic. It was like 8th inning. The Yankees are up 2 or 3, 1, whatever. Who cares? Flash, Mariano, bang, bang, game over. It was fun as shit.
Flash Gordon was good in Philly, to Vince's point. To your point, and people don't like to hear this, but the original Yankees team that had the homegrown players and once they signed Giambi and started doing that shit in A-Rod, I was out. But the Phillies sucked. And I like that Yankees team. I like Jeter. I love Bernie Williams, Brocious, Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, who anybody in the league could have had. He was a great hitter with the Reds. The Yankees traded for him. Yeah, Posada. They didn't have the big steroided up home run hitter like all the other teams had. They did that when they brought Giambi in, and that's where they went wrong. But that original team I love Pettit, Andy Pettit. Who were the other starters? Mike Mussina. Yeah, I love that team, man. They were awesome. But anyway, yeah. So that's that. I wanted to play this. Are you a Wheel of Fortune fan there, Delco Steve?
I'm a Jeopardy guy.
So do you watch Jeopardy on a regular basis?
I record it, and then when I'm
driving
DVR
around, that's right.
And then when I'm driving around, I play it. So it's because I could just listen to it. I don't need to watch it. So that's my driving around shit.
So you listen to Jeopardy on your DVR in the car.
Yep. Put it on my phone. Put it on the radio. Put it up through the Bluetooth, and I just sit there and I see what I can hit.
How do you normally do?
Well, if I get like 15-ish questions right, I'm happy.
So you have just like everybody else, you have strong categories.
I crack up laughing when it's a sports category and they're all like, what?
I love when they'll do like current events or some Hollywood type stuff, or they'll do sports For whatever reason, I remember I used to watch Jeopardy a lot when I was younger, and there was this one dude who I honestly, he would answer every question. The new, what's his name? Ken Anderson. Is that who hosts it now? Not Ken Anderson.
Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings. But when he was on, I guess he was really good. I hadn't watched.
Oh yeah, he has the record for most consecutive days, like 70 something.
Well, for whatever reason, I remember this dude, and he won the 5 days, and he made the Tournament of Champions. But like, these people didn't even answer a question. He got everything. And then in the Tournament of Champions, there was a TV question and a sports question in Double Jeopardy, and he didn't know anything about TV or sports. So sometimes you're held hostage to whatever the categories.
Well, so to my knowledge is they send you out like a pamphlet, like when you know you're going to be on with like categories that like, so it's like you can kind of like study it. Like, so it's like, well, why are you studying the stuff you know? Fucking just look over the shit you don't know. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of my take on it. Wait. This is my hot take on this. This is why I do it. You can watch an episode of Jeopardy in like 14 minutes.
You can.
On DVR. Like, I don't listen to their bullshit stories. I don't fucking care about their lives. I just want the questions.
Point. A 30-minute broadcast TV
is 21 minutes. Like,
it's 21 minutes. When I do the dishes is when I will watch Wicked Tuna, or I'll put on an episode of Cops. And normally an episode of Cops is about the amount of time it takes me to clean up the dishes, to wipe down the counter or whatever. It's like 20 minutes depending. Like after I'm done tonight, I got to go off. I didn't do any dishes.
It's like for every half hour, it's like 10 minutes of commercials. Give or take.
Yeah, like the clock. And I use the Xfinity app, so it's actually you just hit it to go 4 minutes later. Like in an episode of Wicked Tuna, the breaks are 4 minutes. It's like I have a radio mind. I know how long breaks are. So it's a 4-minute break. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. You're coming into the intro. There's like a promo that brings you into the intro. So know the clock with Jeopardy.
Yep. And then I'll even freak you guys out some more. I do the same thing with The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal, because that's just my like put on TV like while I'm doing shit around the house music, or like if I'm cooking, I'll put that on.
I used to DVR People's Court with Judge Millian. I love her. She's great. I love the People's Court. And then sometimes
I like my game shows.
I would get these people that are I'm like, all right, like here's the plaintiff. So I'm Googling the plaintiff to see if I can get more information on him. And then I'm like, here's his address. I could literally go to his house right now and be like, hey, I just saw you on the People's Court. I have a friend, and I won't mention his name because it'll make him sound creepier than it actually was, but he was in jury duty. And so he's in jury duty, and they like call this hot chick's name or whatever. And she goes up and like whatever. So like he starts Googling her and he finds her Facebook, and her Facebook's public. So now he's on her Facebook looking at pictures, and she was like rock climbing or whatever in the pictures. So I'm talking to him the next day, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "I almost did it." He was going to go up. He was going to go up and be like, "Yo, like my name's such and such. Like I can't wait to go rock climbing this weekend, right?" Like try to get with her, already knowing who she was by looking at her online history. And it would have totally worked because he's a good-looking dude, too. It would have totally worked. I'm like, why didn't you do it? He's like, oh, man, I felt fucked up after, like stalking her online. I'm like, well, she should have her shit private if that's the case. But anyway, like he totally could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, you don't have to rat yourself out.
Doug Llewellyn. Listen, Doug Llewellyn's one of my favorite of all time. Much better than Harvey Levin, for sure. And honestly, it's smart. So that's what I do with people on the People's Court. I'll like Google them and be like, you know what? Like I could totally show up at their door and be like, fuck you. Guilty.
But yeah, the reason I thought about bringing up Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal, there's one break in both shows that's only like a minute. So you can't go with like the power fast forward because it's literally like, it's like you start doing it, you're like, oh shit, I already just saw what happened.
So hold on a second here. So I agree with Mike D. It's not the recording of it. It's that you listen to it in the car.
Oh, Jeopardy. Well, Jeopardy, you don't need to watch it.
It's just interesting. No, you're totally. Listen, you don't need to. By the way, like with Wicked Tuna, like, you don't need to watch it. Like you need to come back to it every once in a while. The one show that I can't do it with, because when I'm cleaning bathrooms and stuff, or I'm cleaning, I just have this shit. I have my pods in. I just have my phone going with whatever I'm watching. 3/4 of the time I'm not sitting there watching, I'm listening to it. But there's a show, Frontline, that's on PBS. Yes, I know it's on PBS, but they did something. A lot of times there's stuff in subtitles. And there's this really, really intriguing episode on this guy that was like really like in with Venezuela and all this other stuff. So you can't do that because they're speaking in fucking Portuguese or whatever. So, but anyway, so there you go. Well, let's see what other people are saying right here. Can't clean bathrooms. That's all I do is clean bathrooms. I clean bathrooms. When my wife's in a bad mood and we're like on the periphery of fighting, I just go and I clean the bathroom.
You're welcome.
Makes me not mad. Makes her not mad at me. I just clean bathrooms. No, like now being home, my wife has a job. Now I'm home. And like she hasn't been around, which is cool.
House husband.
Yeah. So like I also like she has the philosophy of you do laundry on the weekends. And you only do it on the weekends. And she'll do all the laundry and she will put everything on the bed from all the laundry we do and stack it with each child and me and her. And then you put it away. Right. But like, and then like you go upstairs at 7:00. She's like, we got to put away the laundry. It's 7:00 on Sunday. And there's like 8 loads of laundry that is stacked up on the bed. Here's my philosophy is that I do a load of laundry. I fold it. I put it away and I don't see it anymore. It's gone. Now I also do. So like this week I instituted the new law, which is I'm doing midweek loads of laundry. Is Mrs. Delco Steve, is she not good at laundry? Is that what you're doing? Or is she commenting over there?
No, she just came in and grabbed her bottle of wine.
All right. We're almost done here. But anyway,
she was like, are we doing another 2-hour episode or should I come get my wine?
No. We're going to be off in a second. But yeah, I'm a
Sunday laundry. I'm definitely a Sunday laundry guy.
I also do.
I also only have to worry about me.
Right. Well, it's also like the kid wears a hoodie like out for an hour and then we come home. That doesn't go into the hamper for me to wash. It's like that goes back in the closet. You can't wash that. It's got germs on it. You got to put it in the laundry. It's got germs on it. Not with my laundry. It doesn't.
Hoodies get worn multiple days in a row before
jeans get worn multiple days. Hoodie gets multiple days. If I wear some type of a sweatshirt or like just that's not necessarily going in the laundry. It depends.
If I put shorts on and I'm just sitting on my couch for 2 nights, I'm wearing the same pair of shorts 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. I change the underwear every day.
Yes. I change the crucial parts.
Yeah. Socks, underwear is fresh every day. If I wore a t-shirt the night before for an hour, I might put it on the next day.
Or I'll wear it to the gym when it's like, doesn't matter.
But yeah, you're going to get sweaty and shitty. Doesn't matter. All right. Well, listen, Delco Steve, you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Happy birthday to Mrs. Delco Steve. And she's older than you?
Yes, she is. And we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
She might come in and stab me in the neck if I actually say anything else.
Well, happy birthday. Everybody have
I'll pass it along.
Great Memorial Day weekend. Well, I mean, so are we doing this on Monday on Memorial Day? Doesn't seem like a holiday. Yeah.
I mean, possible. I mean, you want to play it by ear?
Yeah, play it by ear.
I'll be all tuned up from my barbecue and I'll come on all fucked up.
Or at 9:00, you'll be wanting to go to bed. It just all depends what the timing of the barbecue is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
I don't know. All right. Well, we'll text and figure it out. I don't know how I'm going to feel as well. By the way, I started.
We could do like a single day Tuesday thing and call it for the week if you want.
Tuesday.
We'll talk.
Yeah, all right, we'll talk. All right, well, Vince, we'll get you some more Wawa bathroom talk next week. All right, Steve, have a good one, man. Have a safe weekend. Everybody have a safe Memorial Day weekend out there. follow, subscribe, like, comment, do all those things. And
you got so good at that, man.
I mean, as long as I write it down or I type it in there, I can say it. All right, everybody.
Peace.
Later. See ya.